It's week 8. You're here on the Fantasy Sanctuary Live. Last minute start sit for all of your fantasy football managed lineups. We have a lot of information that came in overnight from Adam Schefter and the teams, some late breaking inactives, some injury questions we got to hit. So I'm here, expert advice to help you set your optimal lineups. Subscribers only. So sub to the channel. Put it down to the lowest minimum 1 minute so that way everybody can get their questions in. Good morning and good luck. It's time to dominate. We're going to lean forward video game style. Make sure we get all your questions answered. So drop them in. GM Bindles, how you doing? Like I said, start set questions. Include the scoring here. We will get to all of your questions. As usual here on the Fantasy Sanctuary, I'm your humble host, Tyler, a.k.a. Emo Cowboy everywhere on socials, Underdog, DK. And we're just here to help everybody set their best lineups. There we go. On to the races. While we wait for questions to come in, figure we'll go through and kind of just touch on some of the news we've gotten thus far. Aggregation on Underdog NFL Twitter channel, really good. So Rappaport saying pretty good chance that Jaden Daniels plays week 8. Looks like they got the optimistic stuff from Friday coming in. All right, Blaze Tenders. What up, what up? Start 2 PPR. Cedric Tillman, Shakir, or Jalen McMillan. This is a good one. Jalen's got all the coach speak stuff. I think Shakir's definitely locked in. The passing offense versus Seattle, it should keep going. McMillan's definitely more of a projection. My vibes say Tillman. We'll check the expert rankings. To really check that because it's this is where it's tough because like Tillman got there before Jameis Winston came in, but he's looked much better than Jerry Jeudy. And then I think with Winston, the pass rate's going to be really high. Baltimore's going to push them, so I think just for like a ceiling outcome, it's definitely better than McMillan, who's looked worse as a talent. Let's see. Expert consensus rankings are saying McMillan. I'm more interested to see what Pat Foreman establish the run. Foreman's saying McMillan over Tillman. He did get 8 targets last week. They said they want to get him going, so I guess this is the time where if you have him, this is where you start him. Go with the coach speak. They're getting him involved. Rushing, receiving. He said that they want to get that back where they were. So I'd say I lean Shakir and McMillan. I'll check. Shakir's always looking good, and from PPR standpoint, and Elijah Moore is not going to be benched coming into the first quarter like he was last week. So yeah, expert consensus, and then we're gonna go Shakir. We're gonna go McMillan. I like Tillman in like draft picks and stuff. Jay Boogie on Twitter, what up? Saying Tillman or Keenan Allen or McBride. I'm definitely between Allen and McBride. We don't want to get too cute with how Jameis Winston and Jeudy and Moore and Tillman are all utilized. We don't get too anchored to the touchdown last week. Keenan Allen's red zone role has been pretty strong. It's just PPR or half PPR. I'm assuming you're asking because it's not tight end premium. Check the Harrison's. I mean, McBride's usage has been really, really strong, and he still has yet to see the end zone. For PPR, I mean, I definitely lean McBride. So we're gonna go McBride for PPR. Bendels, PPR Sutton or Douglas. So Jalen Polk inactive this week. So and then Bourne's back versus the Jets defense. Sutton's really not getting utilized much at all, and it's against Carolina where they're not gonna have to try very hard. You're very welcome, Jay Boogie. I mean, Douglas is going to get the game script, right? It's just, Sutton is just, I mean, that said, it's a soft matchup, so anybody could get there. Expert consensus is saying Sutton by a good amount. Thornton's got him ranked 34th versus Douglas is 46th. This is just like a ceiling versus floor. I think if you're willing to bet on the higher ceiling for Douglas, knowing that he'll be slot, and so that just means he'll be able to avoid that wide receiver coverage. And Sutton's got no floor. They could just not need or use him at all. But this is a matchup where everybody on the offense should eat. You have to worry about how weak their rushing defense is going to be. It looks like if you're okay risking 0-4 because they just don't need him, expert consensus is saying Sutton. Vibes would say, take the shot on Douglas May, but like I said, just that Jets defense is the real. You're very welcome, Blaze Tinder, saying thank you for responding. Love to watch the stream before the game starts. Yeah, I mean it's good to get some validation, and also just we're all in tinkering mode, right? We all are what are we? And here's the thing: everything we're going to decide today, you're very welcome, is not going to matter. Guys get injured first play, first drive. Game scripts get out of control. Things happen that we just don't see coming. We get lied to a little bit. Thankfully, T. Higgins, right? T. Higgins and Zach Taylor's Bengals notorious for screwing around with injury news and that kind of stuff. But thankfully, they've just made him inactive right off the bat, so we don't have to worry about that. So guys like Yoshi Voss and Chase Brown get boosts. Probably Gesicki's usable tight end now in fantasy lineups and like daily fantasy lineups and stuff like that. We're gonna make the best decisions we can based on information and vibes. And it's weird, wild shit still gonna happen, right? We talked about this on Friday night stream with Best Ball Guy. We were doing Battle Royale and pick'ems and stuff like that. It's at the end of the day, we want to target high-scoring affairs and just hope that our guys all get there. So guys Tillman versus Baltimore seems good, but the offense could absolutely implode versus, McMillan is tied to a good Tampa Bay offense. Baker Mayfield's been playing very, very well. Their pass rate's been very, very high, and they're going to be pushed by a really good offense in Atlanta, who went and scored an absurd amount of points just 2 weeks ago when they played each other. Shakir's tied to a very good offense in Buffalo, and they're going to be playing a very solid offensive philosophy by the Seahawks. So I'd rather lean those when I can. Things like Sutton. Sutton, not the best offense, but probably a better offense than the New England offense. It just seems like they don't know what the hell they want to do. They've got a three-headed backfield with running backs now. They've got Ford returning. So we don't know how much that's going to take away from Douglas' slot work. If they're going to pop him out wide. Aishan Butte is now working in there. Sutton is locked in on the wide receiver one, role in Sean Payton's offense, and they're going to play one of the worst defenses and teams in the league who are starting Bryce Young. So they should get plenty of opportunities. So it's let's go chase likely, 30, 40 point offensive game environments and let the cards fall where they may. Because offenses the Browns could absolutely implode. Winston seems like a great way to get access to things up until they decide to yank him and put in DTR or some BS, or just decide to run all the Chubb stuff because they're terrified of letting Watson look like a truly bad play if they let Winston cook, Bill's asking, are we expecting Ladd to play? Great question. So they're expecting Ladd to play based on Schefter's report last night. Yeah, so Ladd McConkey expected to play. I do want to note that with the hip stuff, I believe Jeff Mueller and Edwin Torres, fantasy PTs, note that hip stuff can tend to see a decrease in efficiency of 15%. It's not like it's a very heavy pass volume, game environment to begin with. Let me see. I'm looking for trying to find his database. Didn't donate. I believe. So yes, we are expecting him to play. The volume and the efficiency will definitely, in question. And it looks like from 3 days ago, Jeff was indicating he was likely to play. Not really noting an efficiency dip here, but I know that he's noted in the past that those can be something we see wide receivers struggle with. Or but yes, so in PPR, you're still feeling like he's the play. Looking through, who was that? Oh, here it is. So he notes that we don't like hip injuries for wide receivers because they often impact route running, separations, sprinting, jumping, things like that. So just one of those things to really note. While we'll wait for more questions to come in, if you got them, drop them in the chat. Where is my... There it went. No, Glaze got another one. PPR, Tolbert, Shakir, Worthy, start two. No, you're good, man. This is literally what this stream is for. It's definitely Tolbert. His coach speak has been fantastic. They need to lean on something that works. I think it's probably Tolbert and Shakir. Like I said, the Tillman and Pop thing is we don't know how the rotation of snaps and routes and targets are going to be allocated with guys like Elijah Moore not missing the whole first quarter due to basically being benched by the staff. We don't know that Pop Douglas is going to get a full allotment of routes, and then Worthy's tough because now Hopkins is expected to play like a near full workload and play in that Rashee Rice role. Kareem Hunt's healthy. They're playing a division rival. So, like, you're probably Tolbert and Shakir again. I'll check their expert consensus rankings to help make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, so for expert consensus rankings, especially looking at Foreman stuff, he's got Shakir 44th and Tolbert 48th in PPR, and I'm pretty sure guys like Worthy are going to be below that. Until we see like a role change, you know. Well, I stand corrected. Foreman has Worthy ranked at the 31st rank. So I guess from a ceiling perspective, he's comfortable taking the shot on Xavier Worthy. We got so much heavy. Let me pull up the coach speak Discord real quick for you to highlight something I think we should take into account. We're talking to Brian Schottenheimer. They're saying Jalen Tolbert has done some really good things. We love his ability to win at the breaking point. He's a big, strong, physical guy, plays that type of demeanor. I think he's maximizing the opportunities. We see a young player that's continuing to ascend. Feel very, very strongly. He's just going to be a very, very good player for a long time in this league. Now they're elevating Dalvin Cook, which we know how that's going to work out. It's not like the Chiefs' offense has been like any barn burner or anything like that. So I'm very tempted to go for Tolbert, who I think has got a nice floor and ceiling. The offense is kind of shaky, but so is the offense for the Chiefs, been outside of Kareem Hunt, really and truly. But it looks like I lean Tolbert, Shakir, but it looks like Shakir is by far. It looks like expert consensus rankings would disagree with me and say Shakir and Worthy. So I think Shakir's got a very efficient, very nice role in PPR and got a good matchup. So there's that. McClain 2215 saying PPR start 2 wide receivers, running backs and 1 flex. 2 wide receivers, 2 RBs and 1 flex. Is that what you're saying? So Reese, Gibbs, Mixon, Mason. Wow, what a good problem you have. I'll get right back to play centers. I've been understand where these users. Yeah, it's one of those things I talked to like Ben. Is like the floor is very low. And until we see like a shift there, he's just like a dart for manufactured stuff. And manufactured stuff is going kind of to Nicole Hardman now too. Like the one-off touchdown rushing jet sweep stuff now, he's kind of like losing some usage to. So I just kind of disagree until we see like a usage thing. So I think from a safety floor ceiling median outcome in PPR, I'd roll with Fuller and Shakir. Let's get back to this mountain of a question from the plan. So, okay, so we're talking about, if you're asking me 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex from this, Breece Hall, Mixon are locked in. Cooper locked in at wide receiver. Jaden Reed is more talented than D-Hop. D-Hop said they're going to play the Rashee Rice role. So this is now like Reed's the better player, and he's been hampered by an ankle injury. He might be on the mend and a little bit healthier going into this game. Jacksonville's a really nice matchup. That said, everybody's healthy, so it's really hard to know who you're starting. So I lean Jaden Reed over D-Hop for your second wide receiver in PPR. That said, if we just go based on coach speak, he's going to play the Rashee Juju role. That's an extremely valuable role, especially in PPR. He can just be a PPR scam. If you want to wait a week to see what that role looks like and how he's going to be, used. That said, everything said a lot of routes and usage and stuff like that. I'd say Cooper's role is fantastic. I mean, I think you're really just down between Jaden Reed and D-Hop. I'm pretty sure you got to go Reed over D-Hop. I'll check expert consensus rankings for you real quick. Yeah, consensus rankings have Reed ranked higher. Pat Thorman, who I respect a lot, has him 13th, and Hopkins. So yeah, I'd say for your receivers, you're going Cooper and you're going Reed. You don't have to go down to the McMillan or Pearsall thing, but those are good guys to have stashed. Running backs, I think your flex is strongest with a running back here. So you're just going Breece Hall, Gibbs. Mixon versus Mason, that's tough, right? Well, in PPR, I think I'm sitting Mason. In PPR because he doesn't have as much pass usage. Expert consensus overall has agreement, but Foreman disagrees and says that Mason's ranked at Gibbs. They're playing the lowly Titans. But Mason's got a very cupcake matchup versus Dallas. Ayuk's out. Debo's questionable. Yeah, you've got a really good problem on your hands here. I'd say Breece, Cooper, Reed are locked in. Mixon's role and usage and matchup are fantastic. And then I think your flex is between Mason and Gibbs. Because it's PPR, I'm tempted to say Gibbs. Because Mason hasn't gotten as much pass work usage. But we've seen running backs dominate Dallas. But San Francisco might be just less efficient. They've been less efficient in the red zone, and now they've lost. Ayuk and Debo's kind of questionable. So, and Detroit's been red hot, and they're playing Tennessee. So I'm going to disagree with Foreman, and I'd say your Breece, Gibbs, Mixon, Reed, and Cooper. This is my final answer. And we're talking about splitting fucking hairs. What up, Thad? How you doing? I mean, yeah, D-Hop's going to eat. What's he going to look like? Lest we forget, he's got like a sprained, partial torn PCL, I think. Now, Juju he's got the dustiest knees. We've seen that. But he may not be a priority target his first week in the offense. So that's the one concern, right? Geek Mill, welcome to the channel, asking Jacoby Myers, Ladd McConkey, or Xavier Worthy for PPR. It's definitely between Myers and Worthy. Ladd's coming off a hip injury, and we might see an efficiency dip, and the pass usage isn't very high. Worthy's it's probably Myers. Yeah, these are all like mid-range guys. I'm just really worried about the pass roll usage, especially versus Spencer Rattler. Expert consensus with Pat Thornton of Establish the Run, who does like a lot of the pacing and stuff, has Ladd ranked above Myers. Kansas City has been a tough matchup for receivers. Minshew playing though, I think is better, but it's obvious that Bowers is like the engine. It looks like they've got Ladd ranked as the play, and I guess his role is safe. His efficiency dip with the hip thing is concerning, but it looks like you got to roll with Ladd. Worthy's role is TBD on how he can truly break out. Just with how they're using him, they've already brought in now Hop, so like how's he fit in with Hop? Jacoby coming off the ankle injury, missing the last 2 weeks with Minshew. Yeah, I guess your safe bet is Ladd. Kansas City has been really good against receivers, and Jacoby's kind of now like more of just opening up Bowers. It looks like you go Ladd. His usage has been strong. The matchup's not very daunting. Palmer should be seeing most of for like Lattimore wide receiver 1 coverage. So hopefully that opens up Ladd to kind of move around and get targeted. They're all very like similar tier though, Worthy with like potentially the highest ceiling. Jacoby is fully healthy. I like him a lot, but like the offense is also really clear, Ladd's at least seeing like a really strong underlying metrics. The problem is just like overall volume. Volume's not been the strongest. If I answered your question, by the way, hit that like button. Every little bit helps support our very small growing channel. Appreciate you, dude. Good luck out there. Appreciate you, Geek. Good luck, everybody. We're making the best possible decisions we can make right now, splitting hairs, tinkering till our fingers fall off. We'll see what the fantasy gods will let us get away with. I think the one good thing for the Chargers matchup, though, is that Taysom being healthy should make the offense more efficient, especially in the red zone and scoring and stuff. So if Spencer Rattler is kind of really struggling, they can put Taysom in there and just move the chains and hopefully make the offense better. The Saints defense is getting a lot of defenders back healthy. So this may be another game where like LA just kind of like fist fighting with another middling talent where the defense is probably better than the offense. But at least the New Orleans offense should score a little bit more with Taysom being back. They can use that this matchup for like rushing, especially in the red zone, but also like those pass asking like trick play, RPO bullshits. Olave being back is good for the offense. So ideally, the Saints push the Chargers a little bit more than we would have seen last week's decimated. McLean asking, do we know when Brooks is coming back? We do not. It's probably, what did Jeff say? Let's see. I don't want to speak out of turn. There was, pull up the coach speak index. We were leading like week 9 or 10 at this point. It definitely seems like he's had a setback. And now they're not feeling the need to rush him at all. And they're seemingly kind of benching Deontay Johnson now, who might be a trade candidate. The quote from Canales on him was, I want to make sure that he's fully confident and ready to go. I think that's another week. We'll revisit it again. We'll go hard next week and try to get him ready. On whether the possibility exists that Brooks doesn't play this year, it could be. But again, we're just going to take it week to week right now. I'm really hopeful that he can stack another good week and see what we got there. So it sounds like he wasn't close this week. They're going to push for it next week. So at this point, probably week 10, if I had to guess. Because it doesn't sound like he was that close this week. But it sounds like they're trying to get him to go, but be fully healthy. So it definitely seems like there was a setback we weren't aware of, because his age alone, he should have been back right now. Anthony Escudero asking Keenan Allen or Jalen McMillan full PPR. I want to play the red hot Caleb Williams versus the Washington, especially now with Jaden Daniels playing. That pass defense for Washington has gotten better. but it's still not fantastic. So the McMillan thing is definitely more of a projection. I'd say you roll with Keenan, who had a really strong red zone role, and Keelan's been playing really well. I want to focus on the really good offenses, and really good game environments. If Jaden's healthy and plays, this could be one of the highest scoring games on the slate. You want players playing alongside of that. Pat Thorman and some expert consensus rankings I respect. Agree with me ranking him Allen 33rd versus McMillan 41st. We're going to go with Keenan Allen as our start sit. Vaporware saying reverse emo cowgirl. Pick one. PPR. Dowdle, Irving, Warren. The Dallas Cowboy thing is weird because they tried to get Zeke some gimme bullshit touches early in the game, and now they're activating Cook. So I have a hard time saying that. Bucky's going, but he's a toe thing. So I'm personally worried about what that's going to look like for. They're using 3 backs. They're going to use all 3 backs more in the passing game with Godwin being out. I truly believe that. I'm worried about how much work Bucky's getting. And it could be like a Mike Evans situation where he re-injures it early and then he's missing. So I'm leaning Warren, truly, especially with Russ now. He tends to pass a lot to the running backs. And the offense just looks better. Let me check the babies. And Anthony, I see your second question with you in a sec. So yeah, Todd Bowles talking about Bucky saying barring anything happening, he should be okay. It's an injury that's been bothering him. He had it in college. He's been having to deal with. So like he plays. It's just tough to what's the role going to be versus Warren. I don't think you can do the Dowdle thing now that they elevated Dalvin Cook. And this might be the game where they gotta get him going, and then he does nothing. But that still hurts the snaps. Expert consensus is agreeing, saying Warren over Bucky. So final answer, we're gonna go Jaylen Warren back at RB2. Who would have thought that we were asking ourselves this question a few months ago? All right, Anthony says Dobbs or Odunze. I think it's pretty easily Dobbs. His role has been very strong. His target usage has been really strong since coming back. And Rome is just the fourth wheel right now. Kmet, Keenan, and Moore are all getting much more work than Odunze. Expert consensus agrees with me. Let's see. Pat Thorman has him ranked. And I'm assuming, Anthony, this is PPR because your other question was PPR. So if it's PPR, the targets and his usage in this offense, especially with this matchup versus Jacksonville, this could be like a 40-50 point offensive outing for Green Bay versus this hapless defense that's been international 2 of the last 3 weeks. So yeah, Pat's got him ranked 29th versus Odunze 47th for PPR. McClan asking if Daniels doesn't play, I put in Mason D-Hopper Debo at Superflex. It sounds like Jaden's going to play. And if Jaden's going to play, it's just a pain tolerance thing. And if they're playing him, they said, let me read you the coach speak on him. I thought that was pretty telling. Dan said that you kind of want to protect him from himself, but you got to make sure he's full throttle, can play the way he wants to play before we put him out there. And then on the 25th saying he's able to practice, he followed the plan, ball, walk, run. We'll assess how he responds. We really push it. We're really following the process. Let our eyes decide how he responds. In fact, we really wanted to push it today, and we need to see that he's feeling good. He's not in pain. He's able to do everything he wants to do. How is he responding? We'll take him through all the reps, see how he goes. So it's if he's playing, they trust that he's playing, and you got to play him. If you're worried about if he steps out and misses time, because he takes a hit or whatever. Mason is so above Debo or D Hop, it's not even close. So I think you got to play Daniels if he plays. If you're worried about the injury thing, though, you're playing an RB who has like a 14, 15 point median projection against a really bad rushing defense. Paper, we're asking Patrick the Muppet, Mahomes, or Jared Goff. I don't. Jared Goff's like a top 12 quarterback right now versus Mahomes. I don't know how you start Mahomes right now. Let's see what Foreman has. Foreman has Mahomes at 9 and Goff at 17. That's interesting. I guess that's because like the matchup, Vegas is easier, but Vegas has played them pretty hard in the past. It's not like they're really good right now. There's more points allocated to the Detroit offense. I don't know, man. I want to disagree with this because right now Goff's season average, he's been much better. The projection's only 2 points around. Like if you're starting Mahomes, you're saying that like Hopkins is really going to open up this offense. He's going to throw to Hopkins. He's going to throw to Kelsey. I don't know, man. I'd rather chase the offense with more points projected to it, right? And then just play like they curb stomp the shit out of the Titans. I'm worried about playing Mahomes in a divisional matchup. The offense just hasn't been that good, and Kareem Hunt's been good enough, but they haven't been like pushing the. So here's the thing: Thorman and the experts say Patrick is a top 10 quarterback. Jared Goff is not even a top 15 quarterback. I am more tempted to chase the offensive points, and Detroit's been really solid. I think their median outcomes within a point of each other, and ceiling. Mahomes has not shown me a ceiling yet. Goff has. He used Goff to catch a touchdown within the last 3 weeks. Ben Johnson is in his bag. Vibes say you roll with the Lions offense. The what saying, good luck, guys. Let's win some cash. Indeed, let's win some cash. Good luck, everybody. Paper said I was going to drop Mahomes, but want to see the Hopkins connection. I mean, sure, but Rashi is the best version of that. Mahomes is not like a top 12 starting quarterback in projected points when Rashi was healthy. So it's like, what is that truly going to look? It would be bizarre if somehow their pass rate in the red zone is higher with Hopkins than when it was with Rashi. I don't know. Like what are you really getting out of that? I don't know. I don't think it mattered. Rashi was the 23-year-old version of this. We'll be saying, help the man out and hit that like. Yes, three fine folks. Myself, Rich, and Tom. We all help run the Fantasy Sanctuary channel here. We're on the road to 4K subs. Thank you all so much for hitting the like and hitting the sub. Every little bit helps the little algorithm for us churning away. Patrick the GOAT. All right, we'll be asking Wicks or D-Hop PPR. Ooh, I mean, it's got to be Hop, right? If we're going to go for like projected role, Wicks has not been that good, and he's just been a random touchdown or bust yak guy. Hopkins, they said he's going to play a full complement of snaps. He's going to play that Juju and Rashi role. We've seen that's a very good role. Yeah, expert consensus agrees with me. It's Hopkins by a lot. Thorman has him back-to-back. So a valid question. I'm going with D-Hop because I want to. If he's going to play that role is going to be 6-7 targets minimum. I think it's more targets than Wicks is going to get. And everybody said. Paperware saying, did you see the stat? The only team without a passing touchdown in October is the Chiefs. Yeah, I mean, like they've not been that good, and they kind of just like this middle season. They kind of just roll through to keep guys healthy through the stretch. They're winning their games. Defense is playing pretty well. Kareem Hunt's doing Kareem Hunt things. Yeah, I mean it isn't like Andy Reid and the Chiefs are like an organizational thing. If they don't stumble out the gate early, they can kind of just moonwalk through the middle of the season because 7 teams make the playoffs. They're going to be in contention for the top 4 to get like the 1 or 2 seed. And Travis Kelce's 34. Now DeAndre Hopkins is on board. He's like, what, 32? So it's like, what is their incentive to really push the gas? There really isn't one. Hell yeah, maybe. Like, Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, like, how can you not root for these guys? And with J-Mo being out, but Tim Patrick's been playing pretty well. They were able to get a touchdown at a Khalif Raymond last week. Like, the offense is still going to operate the way it operates. J-Mo's going to like leave a little bit to be desired, but I think that allows them to just kind of play the way they want to play it. Like Goff doesn't have to try to like hit deep passes now. They can just Tim Patrick, big guy, long arms, Amon-Ra and Laporta, that like short A-dot thing. Tennessee's been a good defense, but like Mason Rudolph is still bad, and they're gonna get, like the offense is gonna get a lot of chances to make this thing work. You're very welcome, Wilkie. I appreciate getting to help everybody out. We have 9 minutes for kickoff. If you have any burning start set questions, I know we all like to tinker right into the last minute. Let me make sure we're not missing any late breaking news. Underdog NFL Twitter channel does a great job. Yep, looks like Jaden's gonna start, and it seems like that's the only late breaking news. Kelsey hosting game shows and doing 1,000 commercials. He's done. I mean, he's not done, but like, they definitely don't like. They don't care. They shouldn't care. They don't care till the playoffs. Of course, you're welcome. Tony asking Tank Dell or Devonta Smith. Goddard's out. Tank's been bad, and Dixon's the engine of the offense right now. So I know everybody wants to go chase the Tank Dell thing, but with Goddard out, I'm tempted to PPR. I'm tempted to go Devonta Smith. Expert consensus rankings agrees with me. I think Cincinnati's a better offensive matchup than Indy is right now. Yeah, it's looking like you're gonna go Devonta Smith. Foreman disagrees with me, but he has him 16 and 19. If Diggs was out, I'd go Dell. There was a weird practice report thing with Diggs midweek, but I'm gonna go with Smith. Goddard's out, and the Cincinnati Philly game is much more ripe for. Again, if it's kind of a toss-up, Smith has been better than Dell, both from a production standpoint, underlying metric standpoint. Dell just went goose egg on 4 targets last week, so they have no reason to go away from Nixon and what's working, especially the Diggs. And the Philly offense has not looked great, but they're going to be pushed by the Bengals more than I think the AR Colts will push Texans. And I think the coaching staff of Philly is more aggressive than the Ryan staff is of Houston. So I'm going to chase the higher point totals and the better forward. Indeed, good luck. You trust that Debo will play? Niners have a bye next week, and I don't trust them after CMC. I mean, I don't know that they have a choice because of Juwan Jennings being out. The expectation was that Dell would play from the insiders. I believe it was Schefter last night saying that. They expected Kittle to play and Debo to play. How much of that? TBD. But, you know, if it was an illness thing, seems like if he's had a week to come back, he's going to go. Jason, don't want to miss your question. We got 5 minutes left. Full PPR, Najee or Flowers? Ooh, God. Flowers only got in like a limited practice. Let me check Mueller's data sheet, because this one was he was DNP, then was he LP? Ravens injury report. This is going to matter. Flowers was LP, so he was not full practice with an ankle. Jeff was skeptical that he'd be active, so I don't like Najee, but God, dude, I don't know that they need him, and I worry about a re-injury risk. We had the same worry last week with Evans. He scores that touchdown and immediately goes out. So I think obviously Flowers is the more pretty play. But I mean, like it's a. I worry that they're going to manage him, and he doesn't play the whole game. You're very welcome, Tony. And yeah, it's been baffling all week. Thanks again, man. You do a great job. The channel will continue to grow. Good luck. Like on the way out. Yes, appreciate you, brother. I love doing these with y'all. It's great. Jason, man, this sucks. Warren being back lowers Najee's floor and ceiling, but Flowers being limited Friday with an ankle. It's a high ankle sprain too. So, like, if he is healthy, it's going to impact his efficiency. That said, is a 70 to 80% Flowers better than Najee? Probably. But they're playing the Giants, so it's not exactly. Dude, I'd say Flowers has the higher ceiling, but we just saw him kind of get managed out of the game last week. Bateman's been totally fine. Henry's been awesome. Hill's been good. So, like, I worry that the floor is, like, really low for Flowers, but he does have the higher ceiling. I'm just worried about re-injury. I'm worried about, like, how hampered he'll be. This just smells like a 2 or 3 target game where he gets, like, 30, 40 yards, and he just doesn't look like himself. They're playing the Browns. How much they need him? Did Harbaugh say anything about him? I didn't get any coach speak on it. I think I'd be tempted to go Najee and just get burned, but like the high ankle short week, DNP, LP for Flowers. I don't know, man. That's tough. We get any news? I just want news. Fuck it. We roll with Flowers. If he's out there, he's out there. We go with Flowers. We can't say we chase ceiling out here and tell you to go roll with. Going Harris is where like we didn't use him much. If he's healthy and he's fucking hopped up on Toradol, like their floors are pretty similar, right? Like Najee and PPR is like what? He's touchdown or bust for like 8 points. So yeah, I mean Najee's a floor play. Flowers is the ceiling play. Bad is saying Harris with confidence. I'm glad you feel confident about that. Yeah, it's tough, man. Like Flowers is such a good player, and we've seen the ankle stuff be overblown before. Red zone roll is always a thing. Jameis Winston could push them. The Harris versus New York Giant thing, like they're more of a. The Giants are more of a pass runner thing. Good luck. Yeah, good luck all. Yep, this is the injury game you play. Some guys, it doesn't matter at all. Some guys, it's like, oh man, it nuked us. I mean, it's the Debo thing last week, right? It was then Ken Walker's illness didn't matter. He got there, so yeah. I mean, PPR, it can, like even if he gets a couple shorts, if he's playing and he's getting targets, like that's probably enough to at least match Harris, even if he's not very efficient on him because of PPR. Although like Russ is throwing to the running backs plenty. All right, folks, it's 1 minute till kickoff. Good luck, everyone. It's week 8. Hit that like if you haven't already on the way out. Appreciate everybody asking their questions. We're all super awesome. Najee's rolling like he's goddamn Derrick Henry on the ground. Appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you so much for asking your questions. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We appreciate you all. Good luck this week, everyone. Dominate your matchups. Have a great weekend. Peace and love all. Have a good one.